Tonight's top story, it's the end of an era in Edmonton. Bill Matheson is retiring. Tonight, you'll see Bill's farewell forecast, and we'll also look back at his amazing career in broadcasting. And had to be you. A tribute to Bill you won't want to miss.
Now, ITV News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to a very special edition of ITV News at 6.
Tonight we're saying goodbye and good luck to one of ours. The Dean of Weather, Bill Matheson, is retiring, and we have a lot of surprises in store tonight.
We're going to get to the festivities in just a few minutes, but first we have the day's news headlines.
Edmontonians got a surprise at the pumps today. The price of gasoline jumped 4 cents at some stations.
Yesterday, most gas stations were charging 55.5. Well, today, some hiked their price as high as 59.9. Michelle Grant joins us now live from the ITV Newsroom. Michelle, this is one of those things we all dread.
Yes, it sure is. It's something that nobody looks forward to, and today's increase came as a shock, even though prices have been steadily creeping up for a little time now. But nobody was happy about this increase, not even the Premier.
Bob Shue must wish he hadn't come to work today. Husky head office phoned this morning and told him he had to raise the price of gas, not 1 or 2 cents, but 4 cents a liter.
Unfortunately, we're going up, and the customers aren't going to be happy about it.
Across the street, the Shell station raised its prices, and soon others across the city were following suit, much to the disappointment of customers, especially people who drive for a living.
It hurts. It comes right out of your profit structure. It comes right out of the bottom line. You have no control over it.
This morning, drivers were getting a deal at this Domo. The price was still $55.5, which explains why it was busy when many of its competitors were not.
My boss told us that the gas prices are going up at noon, so we're all taking turns to gas up before they go up.
One of the reasons gas prices are high is due to taxes. There's a provincial tax, a federal tax, and of course the GST. Yesterday, Ralph Klein said he would consider cutting the province's 9-cent tax on every liter of gas. This afternoon, he said he wants to give the issue more thought.
How we go about it, whether it's an appeal or some restrictions putting on retailers, whether it's a direct rebate back to the people who pay taxes through the purchase of gasoline, we don't know at this particular time.
Well, the drivers we talked to sure hope that the Premier will do something, and a tax cut is still a possibility.
Michelle, how long before the province actually makes a decision here, though?
Well, right now the Treasurer's Department is looking at all the options, and they may have something for us in about 2 or 3 weeks.
All right, thanks for that, Michelle.
You're welcome.
That's Michelle Grant live from the ITV Newsroom. Throughout the day, the price of gas fluctuated. Many gas stations are now charging 57.5 cents a liter.
As of December the 1st, the province of Alberta will be pulling suspected drunk drivers from behind the wheel just 3 weeks after charges are laid.
Anyone charged with drunk driving or refusing to provide a breath sample will lose their license for 3 months, even before they go to trial. If the drunk driving charge involves an injury, the license suspension is 6 months.
Having a license to drive in this province is not a right, it's a privilege. It's a privilege you get by meeting the certain basic standards of being able to handle your vehicle, of knowing what the rules of the road are, of having the appropriate requirements, and one of those requirements is to know that you don't mix alcohol in driving.
The province has decided to allow these drivers a 21-day temporary permit to get their affairs in order.
The city is out $1 million, an announcement that apparently caught council off guard. The money is going to BRIGGS Trucking Company, who had land expropriated from them back in the early 80s. Since then, the company and the city have been embroiled in a bitter legal battle. Back in October, the Land Compensation Board settled the dispute and awarded the company $960,000, but nobody from administration told council.
I have no idea why council wasn't advised that $1 million payment was being made. I mean, we're in the middle of a very contentious budget cycle. Dollars are very tight. We're telling the public we need every penny we have, and then everyone's taken by surprise by $1 million payment.
Kinsella says she intends to find out why council was not notified. The payment will have no impact on the current budget debate. Apparently, the funds were already set aside.
A dog that was seized after a vicious attack on a baby has been put to sleep. RCMP say Timber was killed this morning. Last June, the dog attacked the child in Sherwood Park. A judge ordered the dog destroyed, but it was stolen from the SPCA before the order could be carried out. Earlier this month, Mounties found the animal during a routine vehicle stop near Two Hills. The dog's owner, Stephen Lee Sandmeyer, faces one charge of possession of stolen property.
The legislature came to a halt this afternoon after it seemed a Liberal MLA challenged Premier Ralph Klein to a fight. The Premier was answering a question about why he won't agree to a health care debate with Liberal leader Nancy McBeth when he heard someone tell him to step outside.
We are on province-wide television right now, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Every day.
And step outside.
Premier, please.
And now he's challenging me to fisticuffs.
Speaker Ken Kowalski put a halt to the debate right then and there.
And we do not need invitations to go elsewhere. And we've only been here 30 minutes. Too early to go to the bathroom. Anyway, the honourable member of Edmonton, Glenora. You want to step outside, you feel free to go. No challenges for anybody else.
Liberal member for Glenora is Howard Sapers, who could not be reached for comment this afternoon.
An update now on those homes that have been teetering on the edge of the river valley for weeks. City officials will be meeting with the 6 displaced WHITEMUD Road homeowners next week to work out what comes next. Several of the residents have expressed interest in moving their houses. They'll be given 2 weeks after the meeting to make the necessary arrangements. If the homes can't be moved, the city says it will proceed with demolition. According to geotechnical engineers, the 2 homes that are close to collapse haven't moved in weeks. Demolition could begin as soon as January.
And here we go. The man of the hour joins us now, and it's really bittersweet to see you go. I've really enjoyed working with you, but the rest of the show is dedicated to you.
Are you nervous? Because I'm nervous.
No, I'm shaking in my boots.
Look at that hand.
What does it feel like sitting here and knowing that this is your last day on the air at ITV?
Everybody's been asking me that. I don't know what to say. One thing I will say, however, is that I have to get working on those cards. There's
lots.
Take you the next 10 years, Bill.
And my poor wife, Carmen, she's going to be put to work, you know, figuring all these things
Licking
out.
the stamp.
She's the manager. She manages all this sort of stuff.
Well, you know what? Speaking of cards, Bill, we have received dozens of letters, emails, and faxes from your fans since you announced your retirement.
But you know, there is one that stands out just a little bit. Take a look at this. See if you remember this. This picture was emailed to ITV News the other day. It came from a couple of ladies out in Fort Simpson, Northwest Territories. And they're claiming, they say, it's a picture of Bill in the 1940s while he was with the Signal Corps. This photo belongs to Helen Westmoreland. That's wife of the late Westy Westmoreland.
Does that make any sense to you at all?
Yes, I know Westy Westmoreland, a very good friend of mine. He and I were signalmen. I wasn't in the Army. He was in the Army, the Royal Canadian Corps of Signals.
Right.
And I see. And I worked with him, and every day.
Do you remember that picture? What were you doing there?
Yes, I do remember that picture. Look at that head of hair on that. Isn't that marvelous? Oh,
state-of-the-art technology. You got the old wind-up phone in the background and everything. Things have changed a bit.
A few of the astute observers in the ITV newsroom raised an interesting question when they saw that vintage picture of you, Bill. They wondered if you were really the Dean of Weather.
Dean of Weather.
Or James Dean?
Could it be?
How do you explain this, Bill?
You're absolutely right. Well, I had a wonderful time up in there, and that country was in 1949.
Yeah.
Way out there, so...
well, you know what? There's a whole bunch more to come here,
yeah,
Bill.
for sure. You know, Bill has been delivering the weather information for all of us here from ITV since 1976.
Yeah, straight ahead, we're going to look back at the Dean of Weather's career at ITV, and we'll have some surprises as well. Stay with us.
Well, Bill Matheson is retiring after it seems like 2¼ centuries of doing the weather on ITV. He joined us in the days of the wood-burning transmitter. And the one thing that I have to say about Bill is that in all the years we spent together, I think we did about 7,500 newscasts together, Bill, every day that he arrived at work, was happy and cheerful, ready with a smile and a joke and a quip. He was never down, never crabby, no matter what the circumstances. And Bill, of course, left a huge impression on all of us. Now, his hair wasn't combed every day, but he was always there and was educating us about what really was going on in the weather. And you, of course, all know about the Idaho High and gathering rosebuds and all the rest of it. But you may not remember Virga, and you may not know what a monadnock is, but if you paid close attention over the years, Bill would have told you. Happy retirement, Bill. We'll miss you.
There are darkling shadows moving on the weather map tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That dreaded of all meteorological phenomenon, the Siberian High. Why, you ask? Because over here we have nothing but a great, big, fat, avuncular, high-pressure area. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may.
I'm Bob Layton. Bill Matheson hangs him up on ITV News at 6.
This program is brought to you by Herber's Auto Body. Auto Body like it never happened.
Imagine. Imagine being stuck in a snowstorm. Emergency road service. There are so many ways to use AMA.
Digital TV from Videon is so clear, so real. It's unreal. With digital picture and sound and up to 200 channels, all you need is Videon Digital TV. Just $49.95 a month, including programming with purchase of digital receiver. Call Videon to book your installation now.
The wait is over.
Ho, 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 darling.
It's Leon's Ho Ho Hold the Payments event, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Ho, ho, ho. Love ya, baby. Yeah.
Hurry into Leon's today for our best buys ever on furniture, on appliances, and on electronics. Plus, you don't have to pay till 2001. Merry Christmas, Canada.
Ho, 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 baby. Yeah. No, baby, no.
My last car that I purchased here about a year and a half ago, I'm just thrilled with it, and I'd certainly, recommend anybody to come to Don Wheaton. They'll certainly be very satisfied.
Don Wheaton, Canada's #1 General Motors merchandiser, 107th Street and White Avenue.
Linda Steele's wardrobe provided by Blues Women's Wear, home of the 6-month interest-free wardrobe.